Path-Words of our Divine Mother. Our Divine Mother says, when you have nothing to do, you become restless, you run about, you meet friends, you take a walk. To speak only of the best, I am not referring to things that are obviously not to be done. Instead of that, sit down quietly before the sky, before the sea, or under trees, whatever is possible, and to realize one of these things, to understand why you live, to learn how you must live, to ponder over what you want to do and what should be done and what is the best way of escaping from the ignorance and falsehood and pain in which you live. With love and blessings, says our Divine Mother. Words of our Lord Sri Aurobindo. Topic: the real struggle and the remedy. Our Lord Sri Aurobindo says the sadhaks here are of all kinds and in all stages, but the real difficulty, even for those who have progressed, is with the external man. Even among those who follow the old ideal, the external man of the sadhak remains almost the same even after they have attained to something. The inner being gets free, the outer follows still its fixed nature. Our yoga can succeed only if the external man too changes, but that is the most difficult of all things. It is only by a chance of the physical nature that it can be done, by a descent of the highest slide into the lowest part of nature. It is here that the struggle is going on. The inner being of most of the sadhaks here, however imperfect still, is still different from that of the ordinary man. But the external still clings to its own ways, manners, habits. Many do not seem even to have awakened to the necessity of a change. It is when this is realized and done that the yoga will produce its full results in the ashram itself and not before. From the collective works of our Lord Sri Aurobindo, volume 35, page 591. Our Divine Mother says, ours is neither a political nor a social, but a spiritual goal. What we want is a transformation of the individual consciousness, not a change of regime or government. For reaching that goal, we must put no confidence in any human means, however powerful. Our trust is in the divine grace alone. From the collective works of our Divine Mother, volume 13, page 108. Next topic, coming to yoga. It is not from disgust for life and people that one must come to yoga, says our Divine Mother. It is not to run away from difficulties that one must come here. It is not even to find the sweetness of love and protection, for the Divine's love and protection can be enjoyed everywhere if one takes the right attitude. Our Divine Mother says, when one wants to give oneself totally in service to the Divine, to consecrate oneself totally to the Divine's work, simply for the joy of giving oneself and of serving without asking for anything in exchange except the possibility of consecration and service, then one is ready to come here and will find the doors open. Wide open. I give you the blessings given to all my children wherever they are in the world and tell you, prepare yourself and my help will always be with you. Prepare yourself and my help will always be with you. From the collective works of our Divine Mother, volume 13, page 111. Next topic, hold on to the path. Our Divine Mother says, all of you, my children, I may tell you this. I have repeated it to you and still repeat it. Live in an exceptional liberty. Outwardly, there are a few limitations because, as there are many of us and we do not have the whole earth at our disposal, we are obliged to submit to a certain discipline to a certain extent so that they may not be too great a disorder. But inwardly, you live in a marvelous liberty. No social constraint, no moral constraint, no intellectual constraint, no rule, nothing but a light which is there. If you want to profit by it, you profit by it. If you do not want to, you are free not to. Our Divine Mother says, but the day you make a choice, when you have done it in all sincerity and have felt within yourself a radical decision, the thing is different. There is the light and the path to be followed quite straight, and you must not deviate from it. It fools no one, Yoga is not a joke. You must know what you're doing when you choose it. But when you choose it, you must hold on to it. You have no longer the right to vacillate. You must go straight ahead. There. A Divine Mother says, all that I ask for is a will to do well, an effort for progress, and the wish to be a little better in life than ordinary human beings. You have grown up, developed under conditions which are exceptionally luminous, conscious, harmonious, and full of goodwill. And in response to these conditions, you should be in the world an expression of this light, this harmony, this goodwill. This would already be very good. To do the yoga, this yoga of transformation, which of all things is the most arduous, it is only if one feels that one has come here for that. I mean, here upon earth. And that one has to do nothing else but that. And that is the only reason of one's existence. Even if one has to toil hard, suffer, struggle, it is of no importance. This is what I want and nothing else. Then it is different. Otherwise, I shall say, be happy and be good. And that's all that is asked of you. Be good in the sense of being understanding, knowing that the conditions in which you have lived are exceptional, and trying to live a higher and more nobler, more truer life than the ordinary one, so as to allow a little of this consciousness, this light, and its goodness to express itself in the world. It would be very good. There we are. Our Divine Mother says, but once you have set foot on the path of yoga, you must have a resolution of steel and walk straight on to the goal, whatever the cost. Words from Our Divine Mother, Volume 7, page 199. Next topic, one rule for the sadhaka. One rule for you I can lay down, says our Lord Sri Aurobindo. One rule for you I can lay down. Do not do, say, or think anything which you would want to conceal from the Divine Mother. Let me repeat. One rule for you, says our Lord Sri Aurobindo. One rule for you I can lay down. Do not do, say, or think anything which you would want to conceal from the Divine Mother. And that answers the objections that rose within you from your vital, is it not? Against bridging these petty things to the Mother's notice. Why should you think that the Mother would be bothered by these things or regard them as petty? If all the life is to be yoga, what is there that can be petty or of no importance? Our Lord Sri Aurobindo says, even if the mother does not answer, to have brought any matter of your action and self-development before her in the right spirit means to have put it under her protection in the light of the truth, under the rays of the power that is working for the transformation. For immediately those rays begin to play and to act on the thing brought to her notice. Anything within that advises you not to do it when the spirit in you moves you to do it may very well be a device of the vital to avoid the ray of the light and the working of the divine force. It may also be observed that if you open yourself to the Divine Mother by putting the moments of any part of you under her observation, that of itself creates a relation, a personal closeness with her other than that which her general, silent, or not directly invited action maintains with all the sadhaks. All this, of course, if you feel ready for this openness, if the Spirit moves you to lay what is in you bare before her. For it is then that it is fruitful. For it is then that it is fruitful when it comes from within and it is spontaneous and true. From the Collective Works of our Lord Sri Aurobindo, Volume 32, page 449. The Mother's Method. A Divine Mother says, most of you come here when you are very small, at an age when there can be no question of the spiritual life or spiritual teaching. It would be altogether premature. You have indeed lived in this atmosphere, but without even being aware of it. You are accustomed to seeing me, hearing me. I speak to you as one does to all children. I have even played with you as one plays with children. You only have to come and sit here and you hear me speak. You only have to ask me a question and I answer you. Our Divine Mother says, I have never refused to say anything to anybody. It is so easy. It is enough to live, to sleep, to eat, to do exercises, and study at school. You live here as you would live anywhere else, and so you are used to it. If I had made strict rules, if I had said I shall not tell you anything until you have truly made an effort to know it, then perhaps you might have had made some effort, but that's not in keeping with my idea. I believe more in the power of the atmosphere and of example than of a rigorous teaching. I count more on something awakening in the being through contagion rather than by a methodological disciplined effort. Perhaps, after all, something is being prepared and one day it will spring up to the surface. That is what I hope for, says our Divine Mother, from the Collective Works of our Divine Mother, Volume 9, page 372. These are the words of our Lord Sri Aurobindo and our Divine Mother.
शाश्वतम् अकारणम् अकारणानां शिवम् केवलं भासकम् भासकानां तुरीयमतमः पारमाद्यन्तहीनं प्रपद्ये परमं पावनमद्वैतहीनम् नमस्ते नमस्ते विभो विश्वमूर्ते नमस्ते नमस्ते चिदानन्दमूर्ते नमस्ते नमस्ते तपोयोगगम्य Namaste.